Hello, and welcome to It's a Fandom Thing. I'm your host, Erin Marlowe, and each week I'm joined by a panel of guests to discuss all things fandom and pop culture, primarily from a female perspective. You'll find everything from fanfic, to cosplay, to Schitt's Creek, to Supernatural, and everything in between. So put on your favorite piece of fandom merch, set aside that fanfic that you're writing about your OTP, and sit back and enjoy this week's episode. Hello, everyone. Just a quick note before this episode starts. When Sara gets into what she is into, she does talk about something that does have to do with child abuse, child neglect, child murder, and cults as well, and religious abuse. So just a heads up on that when you hear her start to talk about that. So take care. Thanks for listening. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Pop Culture and Fandom News. And on Friday's episode, we are continuing our celebration of Christian fucking Bale Month, the movie Hostels. So this is a movie that was new for me. I know it was new for Carla and new for Sara. So everybody on the panel, this will be our first time watching it, and it'll be our first time hearing how we think about it, except for I know Carla's reactions to some of the cast. Just because she was messaging me like, wait, this person, and this person, like everybody's in this movie. But that will be on Friday's episode. But let me introduce my panel for that episode and this week's pop culture episode. So first up, she's on, well, most of all the month. We are changing our last episode for January because you can't stream Crazy Ex-Girlfriend anywhere. So we're not covering that anymore. I don't know when we'll be able to cover that. It will be hopefully sometime whenever it's available on streaming. So Carla. Hello, Carla.
Hello, Erin.
And also joining me, and this will be her first time ever on a Christian fucking Bale episode. And she's on both this week's and then next week's, which is next week is the last Christian fucking Bale episode. I'm like, how can that possibly be?
That doesn't seem right. No.
It's the last one for this year, and we just started this. I swear for the year. So Sara, hello, Sara.
Hello.
So thank you both for joining me. And let's get right to some pop culture and fandom news. So Carla, what is one thing in fandom or pop culture that you're excited about, etc. about?
Or maybe sobbing about?
Maybe sobbing about?
I can do that too. Yeah, because apparently I decided to kick off my movie-going year by watching two movies that were just... First of all, one of them was nominated for an AARP award. So the other one probably will or should be too. But anyway, the two movies are Song Sung Blue, and the other one is This Thing On. And both of them, when I saw the previews, I was very excited. The stories looked very interesting, and they have actors that I find compelling, or at least interesting choices. And both of the movies, fantastic. Really great casting, really great acting, solid writing. The stories were great. And then the second one that I watched, I'm sitting there sobbing in the theater. And it wasn't just me. So I know that it's not just like, oh, something's up with my brain today. No. Either that or something's going around in my community, because everybody in my theater was crying. Like I could hear people in the theater like... So I'm like, okay, I'm so glad that it's not just me. But there's this one scene in the movie in Song Sung Blue that I watched it and I was like, oh, I was not expecting this at all, because I like to go into movies uninformed, like many people like to do throughout the world, but this for just entertainment. So I go in, I watched it. I was like, this is not in the preview. It's not in the poster. And okay, listen, both of the movies are based on true stories. That doesn't mean I should know who these people are from before. I don't know things. So I'm watching this. I was like, oh my God, this is shocking. And so I'm sitting there with like my little packet of Kleenex that I almost took out of my purse that morning, because I was like, my purse is a little too full. Maybe I should take some stuff out. What about these Kleenex? Maybe later. I'm glad that I had them with me, because then I was able to pass them on to the people in my aisle and be like, would you like to cry too? And like, maybe not wipe. Because this one guy was wiping his eyes with his sleeve. And I was like, I have tissues. He's like, thank you. So yeah, they're both great movies. I'm not a huge Kate Hudson person, but she gave what I think is her best performance of her career, according to me. She was so good in this. It was like a very vulnerable, touching, sweet performance. And may I say that the actors in Song Song Blue all had like crinkly faces, which is fantastic because humans should be able to do that because, that's what human faces do as we age. And it's beautiful because it shows a life lived through emotion. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I saw Song Sung Blue in December in a mystery screening. And I kind of, because people usually try to guess what the mystery screening is going to be, and people were pretty much convinced it was going to be that movie. And like with usually mystery screenings, this part doesn't happen, but like the Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson like introduced the movie in a little video thing. And this was a movie I had no desire to see, I want to say. I am not like a huge Neil Diamond fan. I love music stuff, so that was the only thing that appealed to me. But I will be honest, and I know this will get me a lot of hate. I'm kind of just like blah about Hugh Jackman, and I always have been. And so I was just kind of like, okay. And then I saw it, and I was like, from the very beginning, I was really into this movie. And when that thing happens that Carla is mentioning, and please don't look it up unless you really don't want to go in blind. I remember I literally let out a gasp because I was not expecting anything like that. I was expecting stuff that I kind of had programmed in my head, like when you usually see these kind of movies would happen. And the things that I thought would happen actually never really happened. So, and there's one part that I don't want to go into because it's spoilers that I really appreciated that, the movie didn't do. And I don't know how it happened in real life because I don't know anything about these two who basically became a Neil Diamond tribute band, but it's also a love story. Like it says, it's based on a true love story. So it is a love story. And yeah, I really liked Hugh Jackman in it, but Kate Hudson was really, really fantastic. I think everybody in the movie is really good. And like I said, I'm not a Neil Diamond person, but it actually gave me a really great appreciation for Neil Diamond music. So yeah, I second that. I haven't seen Is This Thing On yet, but I don't know. And Kate Hudson, everybody's like, that movie, it's not going to get any awards attention. Well, everybody's like, well, watch out because Kate Hudson's going to sneak in there. And Kate Hudson did get a SAG Award nomination. I'm not calling them the actors. I don't care what you people say. You change it to that's stupid. It's the SAG Awards. Yeah, they changed it to the actors. The actors, because they're like, it's confusing. Bullshit. It's not confusing. Screen Actors Guild Awards. It's not confusing.
It's in the name.
Confusing about that. Right. Okay.
I know. It's because everybody calls them the SAG Awards, and they're like, that's going to be confusing to people. What does that mean? And I'm like, if you're an awards show geek, which 99% of the people that watch those shows are like me and award show geeks, you know what the Screen Actors Guild Awards are. They're for actors. And if you don't know the very beginning where they have the camera goes around and people are like, I got my first job doing this. I'm an actor or that kind of stuff. That'll tell you right away what kind of award show it is.
I am flummoxed.
I know.
I am flabbergasted.
It's so stupid. I'm like, why did you do that? Anyway, so I'm not going to ever call it anything else than the SAG Awards. But anyway, yeah, I second that. I didn't saw, but the 2026 movie I saw, the first one, which was Primate. So anyway. But people are having so much fun with this movie. So, anyway. So I'll mention it a little bit in my thing. But Sara, what is one thing in fandom or pop culture that you're, all the things about?
And I don't know if there's any more episodes, but the Andrea Yates story, the cult behind the killer on HBO, horrifying. Like the whole situation in general. I don't know if you remember her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I remember when it happened, and I mean, it was horrifying to begin with, what she did, but then the story behind it and this sort of cult that she was involved with. It was a street preacher, and basically they were these correspondences back and forth, letters, and he would send out tapes of his preaching and whatever. But he had written a letter to her basically encouraging her to kill her kids. It was absolutely, I'm sorry, I should have put a trigger warning in here. It was absolutely, it was more horrifying than you could imagine. I'm like, I don't know. Why am I watching this? Why am I watching this? Because true crime. They interviewed her husband, whose name is eluding me at the moment.
It's Rusty.
Rusty, that's right. He was a big part of the documentary, and I just, my heart broke for him with everything that he went through, because apparently after they gave birth to their fourth child, she went into a severe postpartum depression, complete with psychosis. And her doctors told her, you should not have any more kids. They told her, this can happen again. And it was after the fifth child was born, which was a girl, that she went into it again. And it was just fueled by the preachings of this pastor that she was following. It was just, it was absolutely horrifying. Don't watch it. Don't be like me and watch this. This is a warning.
Not to
This
watch
is more
it.
of a warning to everyone. Yeah, I mean, definitely trigger warnings for depression, suicide, ideation, obviously child abuse. Yeah, it's lots of trigger warnings for this one. Religious trauma, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, don't be like me and watch this. I feel like this is like the Ed Gaines one. That was, I watched like half of the first episode, the Ryan Murphy one. Yeah, exactly.
I didn't watch it. I refused.
I watched like 10 minutes of the first episode. I'm like, nope, not doing this. Yeah, I'm like, no, not watching this. But this is just my PSA to not watch this show. I did. I suffered through. You don't have to.
Thank you for taking one for the team.
Yeah.
As a mother, it was absolutely horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. Ugh.
Yeah, there's figures in the true crime world that it feels like we get like a new documentary or a new something about them like every like few years. Like they rotate them out. Like it'll be this person, this white woman who did this, or this white woman who did this, or this person who did that, or this husband who did this to their, it's like every few years it seems like they kind of rotate them out and there's a new true crime documentary about them. And then, I mean, of course, if a new person comes around, then they focus on that. But yeah, it seems just kind of that's the way true crime works.
It seems that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems that way.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the warning. And thank you for taking one for the team. I guess. So I'm just going to briefly go over just a couple of notes on a few movies that I saw very briefly on each of them. So I'll start with the really bad ones and then just move up the chain here. So one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life was Regretting You. I had heard that people hated this movie and that it was the most, the plot is so ridiculous and all that. And I was like, well, I kind of have to see it to believe it. It was one of those kind of things where I believed everybody, but I kind of just wanted to see it with my own two eyes, see how bad it was. And it truly is one of the most horrific films I have ever seen in my life. Not a single action any characters makes sense. It's a horrible premise, horrible, awful premise, horrible story, horrible love stories. It's really weird, waste of some talented actors. It's just avoid it at all costs. Even if you like romantic dramas or the woman who wrote it, I can't remember, I think it's Colleen Hoover or something, the book that it's based on. And it's just, it's horrible. If you want to know, I'll tell you right now, spoilers. If you want to know what the plot is really quickly, so spoilers for everybody out there. So this woman and her sister, they're both married to these two guys and they've been together with these guys since high school. And so, the woman played by, oh my gosh, she's the villain in Get Out. And then she was also in Megan.
Oh, she's a Nepo baby. She's Brian something's daughter.
Yeah, it's Allison.
Yes.
But I can't remember her last name.
I can't remember either.
Allison Williams. Well, duh, when you said Brad. Oh,
yeah, that's her last name.
In pieces we got there. Yeah. It's okay. We did it, fam.
And she's married to the person who plays is also a Nepo baby, Scott Eastwood. And so they're married, and they like, she gets pregnant as a teenager at the very beginning, and then like grow up. You grow up. They grow up. They're playing the same person. So that's like 2007. And then it goes to present day. Her daughter is like 16, almost 17. And then Dave Franco, who plays the husband of her sister, Jenny, played by Willa Fitzgerald. So they just had a baby, but like Allison's, I'm just going to call her Allison because who cares about her character? Her kid is now, like grown, and she's married to the Clint Eastwood son character. And anyway, it's not really that important. So then like the Allison Brie's husband and Allison Brie, not Brie. I'm sorry. Allison Brie is who's married to James Franco. Not James Franco, Dave Franco. Oh, God.
This is so confusing.
We just made like a whole Nepo baby soup.
Anyway, so Allison Williams' sister and Allison Williams' husband get into a car accident together and they both die. Well, they were having an affair for like years, decades long affair. And nobody handles anything in this with any kind of reality. And then it turns out that, and this is spoilers, that Dave Franco's character and Allison Williams' character have secretly been in love with each other too. So then they they haven't had an affair, but then they decide to, well, hey, both of our partners are dead now. We might as well just go ahead. And they were having an affair. They hurt us, so let's just get together. And at first, the daughter's upset, and then she's okay by the end. It's so weird. It's such a weird... Other stuff happens, too, but it's, like, bizarre. So skip it.
This is your PSA.
It's not even one, like, that's a fun, watch it because it's so bad. But one that's so bad that actually I think for some people would be a fun watch, and that's Primate, which was a mystery screening I saw this past Monday. And this was a movie that I was raging about when I saw the trailer because it kind of annoyed me because I watched that documentary about how abused apes and monkeys and everything like that that are kept as pets, how it's horrible for them. And so you watch this ape, this happens right away, so it's not a spoiler. It gets rabies and starts viciously killing people. Like, this movie is so violent. Like, if you want to see people's heads and faces just ripped off, see their jaws ripped off, this is the movie for you. It's stupid, it's dumb, it's a B movie, and it knows it's a B movie. It's short, it's quick, it's fun. For me, I was on Ben, is the name of the ape. I was on, or chimpanzee, whatever. I was on Ben's side the whole time. I do love the fact that they use practical effects in this movie and a little bit of CGI, and there is a person dressed up as the chimpanzee. It never looks like some weird fake thing. It looks so realistic, like it's done so well. And it actually, I think, adds to it. And the person who plays him is so good with the facial expressions and everything like that. So, yeah. If you like really graphic horror movies that are B movies that are they're not intellectual, it's not going to teach you anything, it's a typical January release, you can watch that. I do highly recommend a few movies. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You is so good. Carla has mentioned it before. Really, like, Rose Byrne gives probably my favorite performance from 2025. And, I'm fine with Jessie Buckley winning because that's probably who's going to win for Hamnet. But I really think she should win. It's an incredible performance. It's a very hard and stressful watch at times, but I think it's just such a well-done movie. And so many things about it that I appreciated that they did that, and also it just shows you how useless some men can be. Like, so useless.
Even if their voices are hot.
Yes, even if their voices are, oh my God, I hated his character so damn much. I wanted to just punch him so many times. And then I saw a movie called Lurker, which is all about crossing lines and fandom and being fans of people. And then I saw another horror movie that's not really that graphic, even though there is some body horror elements to it, but they're very tame. And that one's called The Plague, and it's all about young boys and, toxic masculinity. It takes place in like the early 2000s, but it's good. I think that one's really good. That one's a really hard watch though. So yeah, so I recommend those. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to watch the trailer for They Will Kill You. That's the name of the trailer.
Okay.
So we'll be right back. If you're anything like me, once the holidays are over, you might start feeling like you've got like a big spending hangover. The drinks, the holiday food, the gifts, it just all adds up. Luckily, Mint Mobile is here to help you cut back on overspending this January with 50% off unlimited premium wireless. Before I switched to Mint Mobile, I didn't have the high-speed data or the very reliable 5G network. In fact, I'd go like a couple blocks away and I'd lose my coverage. But now with Mint Mobile, I no longer have to worry about that. Plus, no more hidden charges on my phone bill. And with plans starting at $15 a month, you can see your phone bill cut in like half. I switched, and so should you. Mint Mobile's end-of-year sale is still going on, but only until the end of the month. So cut out big wireless's bloated plans and unnecessary monthly charges with 50% off 3, 6, or 12 months of unlimited. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text, delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. This January, quit overspending on wireless with 50% off unlimited premium wireless. Plans start at $15 a month at mintmobile.com/fandom. That's mintmobile.com/fandom. Limited time offer, upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required, $15 a month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra, initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com. Okay, so we're back. So it is that time. Hit pause on us and then click play on the trailer in the show notes just to let you know this is a red band trailer. If you don't know what that means they show a lot more blood. The language can be shown as well. It's just called red band because it's basically the trailer is rated R as well as the movie. So just to let you know. So if that's not your thing, then you don't have to hit pause. You can just keep listening to us. But if it is, then hit pause and then we will give you our thoughts on They Will Kill You. Okay, so we just, I was hearing laughing during the trailer. So we just watched the trailer for They Will Kill You. Once again, if you didn't watch it and you do watch it, it is a red band trailer. So there's cursing and there's lots of blood and lots of murder. So Carla, I'm assuming you waited to watch this or maybe you didn't.
I waited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts are standing ovation. This is going to be the Odyssey, okay? I'm going to buy tickets 10 months in advance. I'm going to go back in time if it comes out sooner than 10 months, just so I'm going to invent time travel for the express purpose of buying advance tickets for this movie, because I don't care about bringing to life an ages old, saga that is, beloved and revered. I want to see Zazie Beetz beating people mercilessly. This movie feels to me like a cross, and it's going to sound weird, stick with me, of Kill Bill and Sucker Punch.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. And the thing is, just coincidentally, I happened to watch recently a kind of like a YouTube video about Sucker Punch and how there were so many things in it that were underrated, and the difference between this doesn't matter. Point is, the style visually looks weird and phenomenal, and I'm so here for it. I love the idea of this woman is being threatened, and the first thing she does is like, oh, I'm so happy right now. She's like, I am so ready for this. I've been waiting to get this out. They look down on this and they don't want you to do it in the real world, but this world is my world. And, it's like the whole, I'm not trapped here with you. You're trapped here with me. I'm very excited for this. It also looks like it could be the worst movie that I have ever seen. I won't know that until I actually watch it, but I am willing to make the sacrifice 5 times over, possibly, I would, again, go back in time 10 months, buy 5 advance tickets for different screenings just so that I can watch it, possibly back to back to back. Let's see how my spine is feeling that day. I'll figure it out. I have Tylenol. It's fine. I'm committed. I'm very in here for this. Like, oh my God.
Then I made the right choice.
Thank you for bringing this into my life.
You're welcome.
Yes, good job. Excellent.
There were like 2 I was trying to decide between. And this was the one I wanted to cover, but I was like, well, this will be the one. And then I'm like, no, it'll be fun. I mean, watching someone kick ass, watching a woman kick ass is just like amazing. So
you made the right choice. Oh my God.
Yes.
So the right choice.
So Sarah, are you on the same page here?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, first, weird satanic cult. I'm so in for that. Cults are like my thing. Okay.
I know what you mean because it's the same
Yeah,
for
okay.
me.
I'm like fascinated by it. But yeah, I am totally here for this. It's just the whole premise of it looks absolutely ridiculous and fun. I mean, Carla had the perfect analogy. It does look like a mashup of Kill Bill and Sucker Punch. Just the style of what we saw. So yeah, I'm getting tickets for this one. I don't know if I'm going to do a back to back to back to back to back or create a time machine. But, Carla, if you come up with that, let us know.
I will, you know what? I will, and it'll be perfect because 10 months back, I can make really good plans to coordinate for all of us to go watch it together.
Perfect.
If you don't want to watch it 5 times with me, you can watch it at any of the 5 screenings at which I will be attending.
Perfect.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, but this is definitely on my radar now. So excellent choice.
Good. I'm glad I chose it. And I want to know, and I want everybody to know what's really awesome about the release date of this movie is it would be a great double feature because it's also releasing on the day that Ready or Not 2 releases. So you have 2 movies about women kicking ass. So I just think that's interesting that they decided to release these movies on the same day because they are very reminiscent in a lot of respects of each other. So I loved that. I also want to say Zazie Beetz is having like an amazing beginning of 2026 because next month is Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, which I am so excited about. Totally different kind of character, at least it seems like in the trailers than this one, of course. But so it's cool that she's having back-to-back, months, of cool releases and her having like seems like in Good Luck, the Good Luck one that she's has a big role in it, but having like in this one, of course, being the lead. And it's always fun seeing women who, they're not being put in peril. They are being put in peril, but they're not being put in peril where they don't know how to defend themselves or they don't fight back. And that's always fun to see. And this also looks funny. It looks extremely violent, but in a fun way. The one thing I will say is I don't know what the hell Patricia Arquette's accent is in this one. But it's fine because it works with it. I don't know.
And that's part of what reminded me of Sucker Punch because I forget the actress who's in it, but she also has like this weird, I don't know if it's like an Eastern European accent of some kind, I think. And I'm like, what are we doing here, babe?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's very, Patricia Arquette is an odd one. And I don't mean that as like an insult or anything. She's just an odd person and very different. And she tends to do that, although sometimes I think it can get a little old, like in Severance. But I'm just so excited about this movie. And I'm so glad that both of you were excited to watch this because I was like, oh, I could put that Robin Hood trailer or whatever, but I want to watch this.
No, this is perfect. I in fact, with my time machine, will go back in time to when you were choosing between the 2 trailers and reassure you, no, Erin, I am Carla from the future. I'm here to tell you that you've made the right choice.
Yeah, there are already TikToks like, oh my gosh, what a great double feature. We're going to go have so much fun watching these 2 movies back to back.
I'm already basking in the absolute glow of girl punchy.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That should be its own genre, girl punchy punchies.
Girl punchy punchies. Awesome. Well, I'm glad I decided on that one then. So hopefully everybody else is as excited as us. It's coming out in March. March is less iffy than, of course, it's still the first quarter of movie releases, but March is less iffy than when you release movies in January, which is a dumping ground. So I am really, really excited for this one. Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I never thought I'd say we're going to talk about Club Chalamet, but in reference
Here we are.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about Club Chalamet, which until I saw this TikTok, I thought Club Chalamet was like the name of the fandom for Timothy Chalamet.
Oh my God, me too.
I did not think it was just one individual person. And it's just one individual person. So I saw a TikTok about it and also about ageism in fandom and, that kind of stuff. So we'll be right back. Okay, so I do want to give a quick little trigger warning note for this because this is a lot about potentially crossing those boundaries and those lines and potential stalking that this could turn out to be as well. I'm just saying alleged and potential for legality reasons here. But if you didn't know, like Sara and I didn't know, I don't know if Carla knew, but Club Chalamet, if you've heard of Club Chalamet, which I had heard of, but I had no idea this was just one individual person who is a huge fan of Timothy Chalamet. And I really thought this was just the name of the Timothy Chalamet fandom, That's what I thought too. That's what I thought. Did you think that too, Carla? Or did you already know? Were you already ahead of the game?
Listen, I know next to nothing about Timothy Chalamet. In the next episode, the one that we're releasing on Friday, you will hear just how uninformed I am about Timothy Chalamet's comings and goings. Therefore, no, I did not know that he even had a fan club, let alone any of this nonsense.
Because he has a big fan club. He's actually an interesting person to look at in the world of fandom because all this other stuff, which we won't get into, but he does have one, and they had a whole look-alike contest. If people don't know about this, in New York, I think he even showed up to that, and I thought it was run by the whole Club Chalamet, but no, it's this one woman who runs this account. I believe she's in her 40s. I believe
she's 58.
Yeah, thank you, because I can't remember because I didn't write the note down of her age. She was a fan of Michael Fassbender. That's who she was running an account for. And then he got married. And so then she turned her attention to Timothy Chalamet. And she shows up on red carpet events, all these events. She posts about it. A lot of people are like, why is this person even allowed to do this? And people think she's kind of treading a line there between fan and stalker. And this TikTok that I watched, which I'll put a link to, also, puts forward the question, when is it too old to be a stan or a fan, or is there a limit? So Carla, I know it's weird that we're talking about Timothy Chalamet. I just want to get that out there because it is kind of weird in a way. But so what are your thoughts on all of this?
Well, two things can be true at once. Okay. It can be true that there is a lot of ageism in fandom. And I think we actually did an episode on that or touching on that. We did. And I mean, with over 600 episodes, it's hard to keep track. But if you listen to all of them, as you should, you could just go and enjoy them. Anyway, there is a lot of ageism in fandom. And that is nothing new. And the claims that older people, particularly older women, are shamed and spoken of as if, they're losers and, why aren't they? It's usually why aren't you tending to your children? Are you keeping up with your house chores? Okay, well, there's a lot of sexism wrapped up in that too, and a lot of misogynistic patriarchal expectations. But it can also be true that somebody who happens to fit into that demographic can be obsessed to an unhealthy degree with a celebrity. And a lot of people have pointed this out, but it does remind me of Yolanda Saldívar and Selena, because Yolanda Saldívar was an older person who was obsessed with Selena and started a fan club, and she was basically the fan club, and she ingratiated herself into Selena's life. And Selena, being a kind of like naive person who's just like, oh, I want to, my fans are supporting me. I want to support my fans. She went out of her way to let Yolanda into her life, and Yolanda ended up killing her. This isn't to say, oh, scary things are afoot for Timothée Chalamet. I'm also not saying that it's not possible. All I'm saying is that being somebody who is into a person to an unhealthy degree like this, where you're following them around, because this is basically stalking. This isn't some cute little thing where it's like, oh, I'm gonna follow the band to see all of their shows. This is like following Timothy to like events and premieres and all of this. And because it's put forth as, oh, it's a fan club, it invites people to believe that, oh, anybody can join. This is an open thing. This is for anybody and everybody who's Timothée Chalamet fan. But this is one person who is also out there blocking anybody who has anything critical to say, not only about him, but also about her. Any concerns that are brought up are, pushed down with like, oh, this is just ageism. It's because, I'm older and people don't like blah, blah, blah. So again, two things can be true at once. Yes, there is some measure of ageism anytime you talk about an older person being older and being involved in fandom, but it does not take away from how concerning this is. And the Wall Street Journal article that was published about her and about her activities, it was a weird article because the way that they put it, it's almost, I don't want to say glorifying what she's doing, but then again, it's like they gave her a little photo shoot and they're presenting her as like this quirky woman who has like really fun life and does exciting things. And yeah, it's a little weird, but aren't we all a little weird? No, we're not all concerningly weird. So yeah, I think there's a lot of work to be done within fandom towards dismantling systems of oppression and the ways that we try to exclude each other for something as simple as being older, being too young, this and whatever. But this is also somebody who would probably benefit from some kind of intervention.
Yeah, I agree. So, Sara, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this is definitely concerning behavior. It really is borderline stalking. And like Carla said, two things can be true. Do I think women in their 50s are too old to be involved in fandom? No. I say that because I'm in my 50s. But so no, we're not too old. But this is right, I'm barely in my 50s. But this is definitely crossing a line that she's showing up at the premieres and trying to almost insert herself into his life. And and apparently I didn't read the Wall Street Journal article, so I don't know what was in there. But just from watching the TikTok, doesn't have any nice things to say about Kylie Jenner. I really don't care about Kylie Jenner, whatever. But it seems like she's openly attacking her because they've been dating. This is really an unhealthy obsession. It's one thing to follow your favorite actor, look at pictures from the premieres and go to their movies and stuff. I mean, that seems, collect memorabilia. That's okay. But this is not normal behavior. This is it's very concerning. And like Carla said, it's one thing to follow the dead around for 20 shows or whatever, because I had friends that did that in high school that would follow the Grateful Dead around for like the summer or whatever. You're just going and you're listening to the music and interacting with, other fans and stuff like that. That's one thing. This is, following their schedule, I guess is the best word that I can, like, oh, I see, he's having dinner in this restaurant and I'm going to, make reservations for the same night or something. It's scary. Like, and, just with social media now, I think it's making it somewhat easier for people like her who are that obsessed to find these celebrities and follow them and see what they're like physically follow that, not just, following them on Instagram, but physically following them around. Yeah, it's kind of creepy to me. I'm sure she's getting a lot of flack because of her age and that she is a woman of color. I'm sure that adds to the criticisms. If she was a 22-year-old white woman, would she be getting the same criticism? I don't know. Probably not. They'd be like, oh, they're young. She's young. She doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just, I find, being a neurotypical, no, I'm not neurotypical, neurodivergent person, we tend to hyperfixate on things. But I also know the difference between hyperfixating on something and being very, not hyperfixated on Ghost at all, but, just being very much into something. But I know where that line is and not to cross that line.
Yeah.
And I don't think she knows that I don't think she's realized that she is crossing a line.
Yeah. People that do this don't realize that. They think it's very normal and they think they are entitled to that person's time.
Yes.
They're entitled to get that photo with him on every red carpet. They're entitled to that because they're a fan. And so that person owes you that. That's what the song Stan was about by Eminem.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's very much, what they're thinking is. It's just interesting framing it in the way that it's being framed by some people, where it is like that age. Does that mean that because of her age, people past a certain age shouldn't be in fandom, which isn't true. I think where some of that comes from is when we were young. I mean, I was this way. I think everybody, when they're young in their early 20s, teens, they think of like 40 and 50 as like ancient. You think of that. You think of like, that's when you are like boring and you don't do anything. And so I think that's where some of that thinking comes in, because like I replied on that TikTok saying there's no age limit to fandom. The problem is with this person is they're taking that parasocial relationship and they're crossing a boundary, they're crossing a line. And someone replied to me and said, yes, there is definitely an age where this should matter less because you have wisdom and growth.
The hell does that mean?
So people that are in fandom that are young, you're dumb and you're stupid, I guess. And then when you get older, you have wisdom and growth and you realize fandom doesn't matter. I don't know. Or you're not supposed to be a fan.
Right. Like magically. And the thing too, it also erases the idea that some people are just simply mentally ill. And mental illness, it doesn't disappear because you get older. The whole idea of like, oh, they'll grow out of it. No, like with ADHD with kids, and how many kids were told, you'll grow out of it, you'll be fine, you don't need medication, you don't need therapy, it's all good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, that comment to me was so absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, I completely ignored it. I'm like, I'm not going to argue with you. But anyway, so I just think, there is no age limit to being a fan, but there is a difference between being like a fan of something and then being a stalker. And that's what this person is allegedly, because we don't want to get a bunch of stuff, but that's what it can appear that she is doing. And it does go to that thing of forgetting that stars are human beings, forgetting that celebrities are human beings, forgetting that just because you're a fan of someone doesn't mean they owe you anything, and forgetting where that line is, and forgetting, you should not cross that line. Yes, I joke about that Colin Farrell is my future husband, but I'm not going around and stalking him. I've never met him. I'm not flying to all his premieres. I know the difference between reality and this fun little joking thing that I'm saying. So I know the difference.
And I think that's what, you're right. They're not living in the real world. That's not the way I wanted to say that. But I think once you get to that point, there is a but they're not living in reality.
Yeah, they have their own version of reality. So all of this to say that it's never too old to be in fandom, but that doesn't mean that you have a pass to do whatever you want. And please remember that celebrities are human beings too. They're people just like you and me. They just happen to be a little bit more well-known than other people. So yeah. And I still can't get over the fact that this is, I don't know, I still thought this was the name of the fandom. So it's, which is another thing that's just kind of frightening of how much power this person holds. And this person has a lot of followers too. It's not like they are like out there, like their posts get so many likes and all this kind of stuff. So they're not like out there like the only, like, with like one person following them or something. So, Okay, well, that will do it for this week's episode of Pop Culture and Fandom News. So we're going to go ahead and close out, and I'm going to go around and have my panelists tell you where they can be found, like to follow on social media, not like their next...
Yeah, don't come find us in real life.
They're not going to give you their schedules. They're not going to share their Google Calendar with you.
I'll be at King Supers this afternoon. If anyone wants to stalk me there.
If they're going to do that, they better bring their wallet and pay for your groceries at the least.
Yeah, hey, I'm good with that.
So Carla from OK Real Quick, tell everybody about your podcast and where that can be found to listen to.
From the comfort of your home or vehicle or your headphones as you're walking through the park.
Yes.
Far away from me.
Not going to stalk someone in the park. But
yes. You can find my podcast, OK Real Quick, wherever you found this podcast. You can also find the social media for this podcast by looking for at OK Real Quick Pod, wherever your media. Now, that social media is just bits and pieces about the podcast and nothing else. And guess what? It's going to stay that way. And you shouldn't look for anything else because why would you? You have a life. You have stuff to do. You have stuff going on. We're fine. We're cool. We're cool at a distance, just as it should be, just as God intended. If you don't believe in God, just like science intended. If you don't believe in God or science, you're probably not listening to this podcast anyway. You can find me. You can find me, my art and my musings by going to TikTok or Blue Sky. That's the other one. And looking for at Carla Temis. You can also find my website, carlatemis.com. That's CarlaTemis.com.
Awesome. Thank you. And Sara, where can they virtually not stalking, but
you can virtually locate me on Facebook at Sara Vaquero Barnick. That's BARNAIK, or on Instagram at NateCamMom. That's NateCammom, or on TikTok at Sarah A. Barnick. I am not creative with names. Again, BARNAIK. I am not very interesting unless you really enjoy baking sourdough.
Don't become a cult follower of the sourdough bread now.
Oh, God, yes. That's a good cult, though.
Sourdough cult.
It really is like a cult. But it's a fun cult, and we just bake bread. We're not harming anyone.
No, sorry. Fergie the dog, she's watched a lot of horror, everybody, so you don't want to mess with her.
She's terrifying.
Definitely don't follow her.
She was very pissed last night when I told her Indy won an award. She's like, I don't fucking care about that dog.
Stop talking about him, Auntie.
Yeah.
Makar was very excited that Indy won an award as a fellow troller.
I don't think Indy even knows he won an award, but so you can follow Fergie the dog on TikTok at Schroeder and Fergs. That's SCHROEDERANDFERGS. It's long, but it's worth it. To find all our past episodes, links to our social media, including our Discord server, which you can join, but if you are weird, creepy, or if you're promoting your AI crap, we are going to kick you out and ban you. You can find links to that on our website. It's afandomthingpod.com. And while you're there, consider becoming a Patreon supporter today. For as little as $3 a month, you get ad-free content, you get episodes a day early, and you get bonus episodes. I'm not positive what January's is going to be. I'm pretty sure, and I have to talk to somebody who's on this panel right now to see if she wants to join me, but I think I'm going to do a one battle after another bonus because I really want to talk about that movie. And then I am still going to do I'm sorry, Sarah, but I'm still going to do a rant about Stranger Things because I'm still fucking pissed at that show. So I'll be doing a rant about that. I might be appearing on my streaming bubble with Jen, my podcast brain twin, to debate our thoughts on the Stranger Things. So you can hear that too. But yeah, so once again, you can find links to the Patreon on our website. It's a fandomthingpod.com on the support us tab there, or go to the link in our show notes. And on Friday, Carla and Sara will be back to talk about hostels as part of our Christian fucking Bale month. So until next time, remember, it's a fandom thing. Black Lives Matter, stop Asian hate, and free Palestine.